What's up, traders, and welcome back to Uplift Markets. Google just reported the Q1 2025 earnings, and not only did they crush expectations, but we might be witnessing the start of a new bullish reversal on the chart. In today's video, we're diving into the fundamentals, the chart setup, and what this means for Google in the short and long term. So let's break it all down. As we know, Alphabet reporting the $90.2 billion in revenue, up 12% year over year. EPS came in at $2.81, crushing the estimates. We also had net income jumping to 46%, all the way to $34.5 billion, and Google just announced an increase in their dividend and declared a $70 billion stock buyback program. Now that is pure intent for the shareholders. Now, what drove the numbers? Well, the search revenue grew to $50.7 billion. YouTube ads were up 10%, and the most important of them all, Google Cloud, was up 28% and is now profitable. The AI investments are paying off, and as we know, Gemini 2.5 is rolling out in the core search. The AI narrative is real, and it is showing in the numbers. Let's look now at the price action, which is king. We had earnings, but what did the stock do and how did it react? Well, analyzing the chart on a daily and moving towards a shorter term 5-minute chart, we see that we were pretty well during the day and we closed green. We had the earnings and we bounced directly, strong bid, and we encountered resistance at 168, right? Pretty good news for Google. But we always like to analyze on a longer term scale and look at the bigger trend, right? We can't always let ourselves go by the smaller term time frames. So let's go to a daily chart. As we can see, Google has been a broken stock. We were clearly below 50 EMA, showing that the sellers were in control of this stock. But as we know, we closed at 168.79 on a post market, right? And what this means is that we would be technically now above the 50 EMA and above the swing high anchored VWAP, which would be this red line right here. This line measures the average entry price of the short sellers that came at this high, and an important level to watch out for, because that's what provoked this extreme selling, and we want to know, is now the time for the reversal. So what we can do now is also look at the support that came in at 147. It came in at a prior area of support. So analyzing it, we can plot an anchored VWAP here, measuring the momentum of those buyers and seeing, are they willing to defend their level and their entry levels? Okay, so what this means is, in order to be bullish on Google, you would like to see that close above the 50 EMA, this yellow line right here, and we would like to see the close above the swing high anchored VWAP, showing that the sellers are now on average starting to lose money, and the buyers can overall overwhelm those sellers. So I see a breakout, then a couple candles hold above that level, showing that the sellers are not intense enough to bring the stock down lower, and that the buyers are actually coming in and bidding the price up, right? And finally have that breakout candle, which shows that the trend is now towards the upside. And when this occurs, the reasonable stop to be placed would be at the $154 level for more risk. The trend would be invalidated if it falls below this, and also if it falls below the $147 level, which would be the areas that the buyers came in, right? That low that we formed, right? And what I mean is that it's not just a low, because as we can see, we had a higher high here, a higher low, but the volume was just exuberant. It was extreme, showing that this level was of extreme interest. Someone really noted this and just bought the stock, right? So what I would like to see is that happening, and if those conditions happen, then I'd be going along with Google. Now we can go back and analyze the exact same thing. This is just repeating right? So we were at, pretty good highs back here, right? So if we take this off, these levels off, right? So you guys don't get confused, right? So we were at pretty good all-time highs right here, right? Bidding up, and we somehow found buyers there, right? It was in around July of the year 2024, right? So what we did is the same thing, just apply a swing high anchored VWAP and measure the average price of entry of those short sellers and cause this reversal, right? So we were below that and the 50, right? So there was no reason to be buying this name at all. People who bought thinking that this was the low, they thought so for a minute, but then the sellers came in aggressively and they got stopped out. So what we should do is wait till we have a breakout, some confirmation, and then we did have a confirmation here, a breakout, and we just kept ranging. As you can see, we did not fail this higher low that formed, this level of 160 right here, as we can see. And we found buyers each time, those lower wicks showing that the buyers brought the price back up. And we had that breakout, close above the swing high anchored VWAP from the sellers, and the trend just continued towards the upside, right? Now, this is what could happen with Google and is repeating exactly the same. Obviously, it all depends on the overall macro news and the market sentiment. But right now, seeing with the current bounce that we've seen and the rally in the overall SPY and QQQ, this could be the setup for Google. And especially after this important earnings report that they extremely, obliterated and was absolutely such an amazing report. So here's the big picture. Google crushed earnings. It gave shareholders a dividend and a buyback, and technically looks ready for a run. This could be the beginning of a new bullish phase, and the setup is too clean to ignore. As always, if you like this video, feel free to subscribe, give it a like, and as always, don't forget that if you want early trade setups like this every week, join the Uplift Markets newsletter. The link is in the description. And as always, be careful, manage your risk, and don't let the market whip you out. I'll see you guys on the next one.